Hello and a very good evening. Didn't we tell you that we are not taking our focus away from Arjikor? Didn't we tell you that we would keep our focus on Arjikor as long as it takes till the time justice is being done? Because from first day, we had been saying that it's just not the country that has lost a doctor. We have lost a human life, and there is a family that has lost a daughter. And that's the reason closure in this case is very, very important. Closure in every case of rape and murder, closure in every case of sexual harassment, absolutely mandatory, because that can only act as a deterrent. Nobody who is part of the civilized society had ever accepted the heinous crime which was committed on 9th of August 2024, and since then days have only passed by, and from day one till now we have been thinking on this very case in hope and pray that justice would actually see the light of the day. But very interestingly, even after days of protest, even after CBI filing charge sheet, even after Supreme Court's intervention, even after so many statements been made by so many people from so many courts, it seems like with every passing day, more and more mystery is shrouding the entire process of seeking justice, that only compel us to ask this question: are there external factors coming in the way of justice? I repeat, are there factors coming in the way of justice? And mind it, when I say fight for justice, I do not limit it to the protests which had been taken out by doctors and doctors alone, because there had been a section of junior doctors who had taken out protest rallies, but eventually they've also come under the social scrutiny because of their own priorities. People who are half doctor, half actor, they have shown their priority in attending film festivals, in doing everything along with the protests. But they are the same people who had once objected as why should society move out beyond protest to their normal life till the time justice is being done. And thus I say, this fight for justice is just not limited to doctors or junior doctors seeking justice. This as a fight is very, very personal to one and all, to us as a society. In a new turn of events, or if I can call it a new twist, Vrinda Grover, very senior advocate, one who had been representing the victim's family before the Supreme Court and also before the trial court, where the trial has already begun since 4th of November, that same very senior advocate, Vrinda Grover, and her entire chamber have withdrawn from the Arjikor case, which means they have refused, or that they have rescued themselves from representing the victim's family anymore. Why has that happened? Imagine the trial process has begun, and if so are to be believed, CBI is confident that the trial, as far as the act of crime, that is rape and murder, is concerned, that particular crime in which Sanjay Roy has been found as the sole accused, that trial would get over very soon, could be in a week's time. So when close to the trial's completion, Vrinda Grover and her chamber have recused themselves from this Arjikor case. They will not be representing the family of the victim anymore. Why has this happened, and why now? It's a question bothering all, and we will try and delve into the details as what you have learned from our from sources. What is the inside information? But before that, here's the statement which has been issued by the office of Vrinda Grover, and I read it. The Chamber of Advocate Vrinda Grover, including Advocate Shautik Banerjee, Arjun Guptu, were requested by the victim Abhaya's parents to provide legal representation before Honorable Supreme Court, Honorable Calcutta High Court, and the Shialda Sessions Court and ACJM Court. Advocate Grover's chamber has provided legal service and representation completely pro bono, which means for free of cost. No money was charged to the victim's family. Before all courts from September 2024, a period of almost 3 months, the victim family has presented every day in the day-to-day trial in Shialda Sessions Court since 4th of November 2024 and also before the ACJM Court for remand hearings on all dates of production since 25th of September 2024. During this period, the evidence of 43 prosecution witnesses has been recorded and bail of other accused persons consistently and successfully opposed. The remaining prosecution evidence is due to be completed in the next 2 to 3 days. The prosecution has been assisted professionally by the complainant counsels and the same has been observed by the learned trial court on multiple occasions. As lawyers and officers of the court, Advocate Vrinda Grover and her legal associates render legal services only in accordance with law, evidence and professional ethics. At this stage, on account of certain thriving factors and circumstances, the Chamber of Advocate Vrinda Grover is constrained to withdraw from the case proceedings in the matter and will no longer be representing the victim's family. The concerned trial court has also been informed accordingly and the counsels stand discharged from the trial. This is the full statement which has been issued from the office of Vrinda Grover. And from this entire long statement, if there is one paragraph or one line which has caught my attention, that is, as lawyers and officers of the court, Advocate Vrinda Grover and her legal associates render legal services only in accordance with law, evidence and professional ethics. Mind it, these words have been given out by a very senior advocate. Advocates are known for their vocabulary. Advocates know which word to be used where for maximum impact. An advocate here, that is Senior Advocate Vrinda Grover and her entire chamber, had very carefully used these words. In accordance with law, evidence and professional ethics. Does it mean that Senior Advocate Vrinda Grover and her chamber were expected or coerced to do certain things or certain things which might not be in accordance with law or with evidence and professional ethics? For example, if I am an advocate and I know what the matter is, I have gone through the details of the case, I know the blueprint of the story, and this I know what to say where. Now, if there is an external factor, a third party who comes to me and tells me, lawyer, you need to say this, which is not directly related to the case, but might impact in the investigation of the case, might impact the justice process, or might impact the judicial hearing process, you need to do it because you are my counsel and I want you to do it. I, as a lawyer, I have all the right to refuse to do so, knowing very well what is right and what is wrong. As an advocate is known for his or her vocabulary. A lawyer knows what the law is. A lawyer knows what the sections are. A lawyer knows how to pitch for which section where and what needs what kind of advocacy. But here, in all full conscience, will not want to do wrong advocacy for the sake of somebody or to satiate somebody's desires. Now, am I wrong to presume that Senior Advocate Vrinda Grover and her chamber had been coerced or pressurized or in a way insisted to do certain things or to say certain things before the learned courts which is not in accordance with law, evidence and professional ethics? These senior advocates are extremely professional. You can't expect them to go beyond the interest of justice process, to go beyond what is right and wrong for the very case and do things which can affect the case. Nobody does that consciously. When they wear that black robe, they actually owe their allegiance to judiciary. When they wear that black robe, they owe their allegiance to the law of the land. They do not owe their allegiance to somebody's concocted actions, manipulations, and absolutely not fantasies or desires which are not in accordance with law, evidence, and professional ethics. I would keep repeating that one line. And again I say, when a chamber of senior advocate Vrinda Grover has issued a statement and has drafted it and has cared to include this one line, it has lot of meanings and it's literally staring on your face. And thus we want to question what's going on. Why did senior advocate Vrinda Grover recuse herself? Why did her chamber withdraw themselves from this very case? And mind it, they were not representing the accused. They were representing the victim's family, with who the entire nation had shared their deepest of condolences and sympathy and empathy and every other emotion. So what went wrong? Now when senior advocate Vrinda Grover and her chamber essentially says that they follow the process in accordance with law, am I wrong to question, or am I wrong to draw this inference that was there an external factor coming in the way of this process of executing justice, was trying to compel senior advocate Vrinda Grover to say certain things or do certain things which is not required? And is that the reason why she has refused to do so? If yes, then what is it and who are they? We did not stop to that one statement which has come from senior advocate Vrinda Grover's chamber. Yes, we did reach out to them and we sought a clarification. Is it because of the state government? Is it because of Kolkata police? Is it because of CBI? Is it because of any other agency? Is it because of central government? Is it any political leader? Is it because of any politician? Is it because of any minister? And you know what? They said, if I have to go by my sources, who of course is associated with senior advocate Vrinda Grover's chamber, the answer to all these questions had been negative, which means they have not come under any pressure from the CBI, they have not come under any pressure from the Kolkata police, they have not come under any pressure from Mamata Banerjee's government, they have not come under the pressure from the union government, from the central government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they have not come under any pressure from any other central agency, they have not come under any pressure from any minister or leader. And thus the question is, who could be these people or these people who are trying to come in the way of the investigation and of course justice? There are certain things learned from our sources, and that's where we are now getting to. First thing first, we have our greatest respect for the family. We have our deepest sympathies for the bereaved family. While we are fighting for a bereaved soul, a departed soul, nobody can ever appropriate the pain of this bereaved family. What we are going through is in no match with what the bereaved family is going through. While we are asking for justice, they are also asking for justice. At the same time, they are yearning to see their own daughter. And thus I say, we have our greatest respect for the bereaved family and we have our deepest sympathies for the bereaved family. Yet, there are certain things which you have learned and they need proper highlight. What you have learned from sources, and we will try and play those graphics, that the family has been convinced, hear carefully, what you have learned from sources, that the family has been convinced by someone or some people that the act of crime is committed by more than one accused, Sanjay Roy. I repeat, this is what I have learned from source who is very close to the family, and that source is telling me that the family has been convinced by some people or someone that the act of crime is committed not by Sanjay Roy alone, and there could be more people involved. The second thing that you think, that the family has been convinced by some people that evidences have been destroyed. Again I say, a source close to the family is telling me that the family has been convinced by someone who is not a family member, who is directly involved with the family, but in a way found access to the family, using that access in the past so many months and days, have gone to the extent of convincing the family that look, it cannot be done by one individual, and that evidences have been destroyed. And the family who are desperate for justice, who are also yearning for a closure, who are also at the same time dealing with many other emotions. Number one, to have lost their own daughter. Under such situation, maybe the family, we have got nothing against the family. A family, after all, wants justice. But if there are people who are trying to portray themselves as they care for the family, they are well-wishers of the family, that they had been the well-wisher of the doctor, departed doctor, that they really want good for the family, and that they are the only people who care for them, and a family which is absolutely desperate, bereaved, helpless, if at some point they form weakness on that someone or those some people, and by any chance if they had believed as what they are saying, then they are not wrong in approaching Vrinda Grover and asking her to say certain things or do certain things, because that in any course would be termed as manipulation. So the question is, who are these people who are trying to convince the family, on what basis? Who are these people who are trying to portray themselves that they are the well-wishers of the family, and they are the real well-wishers of the family, that no one else is fighting for the justice as much as they are doing, that they are crusaders by nature, and thus they have the right to, in a way, be around the family and have an influence on the family. Who are these people? Who are these people who are trying to convince the family that more than one person is involved? Who are these people who are trying to convince that evidences have been destroyed? And my question is, there is a CBI charge sheet, and the CBI charge scientific in nature. The CBI charge sheet is a conclusion drawn after multiple tests and examinations, investigation of multiple witnesses, and this conclusion, that is the charge sheet, is fundamentally reliant on evidences. So who are these people who are trying to challenge the CBI's investigation and depict a picture which is in contrast to the CBI's investigation, and then convince the family that look, we know something more than the CBI, look, the CBI is not doing their best and we know it. Point is, if they know it, why aren't they going to CBI with evidence? If they have got names, why don't they go ahead and give those names to CBI with evidence, and then question as why is CBI not investigating them? Because mind it, CBI had been investigating this matter since 13th of August 2024, and CBI has no reason to botch up this investigation. And why would CBI do that? Why would CBI do that? At a time when the entire nation had erupted in anger, CBI would be celebrated if they can close this matter. The entire nation would hail CBI's investigation if that helps a closure in this matter. So who are those people who do not really want CBI to close the matter? And are they the same people who have gone very close to the family? Because you are also learning from sources that the family has been told by someone to insist on taking certain names and force the court to seek investigation on those lines. That's again, we are learning from a source very close to the family. We are also learning that the family was told by that same someone that they appeal before the trial court and the Supreme Court so that CBI investigation could also include certain individuals who are so far not mentioned in the charge sheet. Again, that's what you're learning from a source. Thus the question is the family being pressurized by someone? Is the family being pressurized by someone? Is the family being misguided by someone? Was the family misguided or forced to ask Vrinda Grover, senior advocate, to submit the application without any premise, proof or material of suspicion? Is the family being fed misinformation to doubt the CBI investigation? These are all questions we are asking, because mind it, for the past so many days we have only dealt with case of misinformation, 150 grams of semen, misinformation like multiple bones broken, pelvic bone broken, collarbone broken, that the body was torn, there were multiple injuries. Please ask yourself, a post-mortem which is videographed, which is now in the custody of the Supreme Court and CBI and the other central forensic science laboratories which are not in Kolkata, elsewhere, if they had found anything inconsistent, wouldn't they have brought to the fore? CBI did a former Kolkata police officer, the former OC of Tala police station. CBI did arrest a police officer, right? So if CBI can arrest one officer, if CBI can show Shondeep Ghosh, former principal of Arjikar Medical College and Hospital, arrested in this very case which is murder, CBI can also name others if they are involved. How can CBI frame people? And why should this be expected that somebody should get framed, because that might lead to a road that might help somebody? I'm just asking, because Vrinda Grover has clearly stated that they only follow cases in accordance with law, professional ethics and staying within the legal ambit. And the chamber of Vrinda Grover, senior advocate, is saying that they had not been under the pressure of CBI, not been under the pressure of state government, not been under the pressure of central government, not been under the pressure of any central or state agency, not been under the pressure of any minister or leader. Then who else is left for us to suspect? And whether you like it or not, I'm gravitated to the idea, are they the same people who had in a way injected one misinformation after the other? Are they the same people who are trying to misguide the bereaved family? I'm just asking, because the bereaved family was not present at the crime scene when the crime happened. What you have learned, what I have learned, is also what the bereaved family must have learned. And mind it, the bereaved family has also given statement to the investigating agency, first Kolkata police and then to CBI. So everything they had said, have you seen that before CBI, the bereaved family had actually given a statement that some police officer had tried giving them money? So the bereaved family had actually stated facts and action was taken against that officer. The bereaved family has given facts to the investigating agency. The bereaved family had been in possession of certain knowledge which is very, very important in this very case. I'm sure the bereaved family must have said it to the CBI by now. Before the Supreme Court, CBI also had maintained that they have been in touch with the bereaved family constantly, and every update is being told to them, and the family is being apprised. So the bereaved family, if I have to believe, had gone to their counsel, that here in this case a senior advocate Vrinda Grover and a chamber, and had asked them to do something or make an application, or insisted them to say something. Was that their choice alone? I don't know if that has happened. I'm just questioning. If that has actually happened, was that their choice, or they were under the influence of someone? Because for the past so many months, there had been people, educated, even junior doctors, and I won't mince my words, who have tried showing that they are the real well-wisher of the family, that they are the only ones who care for justice, are the also people who had very carefully, meticulously propagated misinformation. Or, for that matter, when the misinformation had been there in public domain, did not care to fact check them or take a position that you are against every false narrative. We humbly want to ask, who are these people? If at all it is true, who are these people who are trying to misguide the family? And again I say, we have deepest concern for the bereaved family. As much as you care for justice, we equally care for the bereaved family. But we will not allow someone to hijack this case for their own political advantage and political benefits and use this case for their own political mileage. I'm sorry, we'll not allow that to happen, because we are absolutely invested in this fight for justice. On 7th of November, I want to play a small clip. On 7th of November 2024, when the matter was heard by former Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandra, the last time before the bench of Supreme Court, this has actually what happened. Once one counsel had wanted the trial be moved out of Kolkata, senior advocate Vrinda Grover had said that why are these people who are not directly involved in the case are so hell-bent in stalling the process of justice. This is what had transpired, and that had also resonated with former Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud. This is what had happened on 7th of November 2024.
An order passed. May I just? There is an order passed for recording of evidence.
For the time being.
For the time.
Your Lordship, the trial is about to commence. The trial may be shifted out of West Bengal, keeping in view the disturbing features in the case.
My lords can
Amla, from day one.
the trial.
But
Neither
there are precedents. There are precedents.
I know there are precedents. We have shifted the trial, some trials out of Manipur, for instance, to Assam.
Muzaffar
Here we are not doing it. We have let the trial continue before the Otherwise, we're just casting doubt on the legitimacy of our own judicial system. We have nothing to do. We have nothing to do.
I'm sorry, disparities. I'm not on the rape and murder.
1 second.
There is an attempt to stall the trial.
The investigation goes beyond rape and murder.
Ms. Jaising,
Yes.
but the status report which has been submitted by the CBI has extensively referred to the investigation with regard to financial irregularities. We don't want to flag any issue because that might possibly dislocate the investigation. Please rest assured that CBI is looking into financial irregularities also. They have flagged various aspects for us.
RC.
My lord,
Another
it's a matter of concern that people who are strangers.
They have not even asked for it.
Somebody wants it shifted, somebody wants it stalled.
We are not doing anything like this. We are not doing, you're right, we are not doing
Very
anything.
grateful, my lords.
But Maharaj, it is self-contradictory. On one hand, you are saying there is a sole accused.
Look, I don't want either your comments or your gratuitous comments as to whether we are self-contradictory. You reserve,
I'm not
you reserve
I'm
it for the
saying
television.
CBI is self-contradictory. Maharaj, on one hand, they are saying there is a sole accused person.
My lord, the question is, who does he
It's a larger
represent?
conspiracy.
Who does Mr.
No,
Aduji
that's not
represent that he seems to think that this is
The
self-contradictory?
charges have to be reframed.
Who does
Again,
Mr.
there should be a
Aduji
retrial.
represent?
The state was
Are you not
argument.
interested, are you not interested in a trial? Because it appears that there are factions we don't want the trial to proceed. Let the trial start, let the trial just take charge.
Order has been passed for recording of prosecution evidence on a day-to-day basis from Monday, 11th of
That's what we
November.
want.
Why is there interest in strangers to stop that?
We are
Absolutely.
we are not going
Absolutely.
to stop it at all.
When the supplementary charge sheet is filed, if required, there is power to alter or amend a charge. That is the power under BNSS, which will be exercised if required.
And
All that.
Deeply obliged, Mas, deeply obliged.
In fact, there had been a growing fear that are there people who are not associated with the call are also
I have-
interested in derailing the investigation and the process of justice. And before I wind up, for your quick recollection, I want to go through one small portion of the CBI charge sheet. And that small portion of CBI charge sheet essentially highlights what they have found. Essentially found a pair of jeans a blanket, bed sheet, and that there was human blood present in the jeans and the bed sheet that belonged to the victim. The CBI had also found, after going through the post-mortem report, after going through other investigations, after sending viscera and other collections to Central Forensic Laboratory in Chandigarh, New Delhi and Kolkata, they had found that the urethral swab belonged to Sanjay Roy, that human semen present belonged to Sanjay Roy, that the nipple swab belonged to Sanjay Roy, that the short hair belonged to Sanjay Roy, the earphone belonged to Sanjay Roy, the phone belonged to Sanjay Roy, and there are evidences which clearly indicate that Sanjay Roy is the person who had committed crime. In fact, very squarely, CBI in its charge sheet had said that Sanjay Roy is the person who had committed this crime of rape and murder. In fact, CBI had also formed a multi-institutional medical board comprising of doctors from AIIMS and medical hospitals which directly under the central government and not here in Kolkata, outside Kolkata. And that medical board had clearly found that the age of those injuries, the reports to be consistent, and that there had been no discrepancy between the post-mortem report and the inquest report, that they had also gone through the other evidences and they have found consistencies. This is a very crucial piece of information. If CBI in their own investigation, not relying on Kolkata police, not relying on any agency, relying on any authority, not relying on any institution that is in a way directly, indirectly or any way associated with Bengal government or the state of Bengal, even after that independent investigation, if the finding says that there had been consistencies in the post-mortem report and the inquest report, that Sanjay Roy is the person whose semen sample had matched, the swab sample had matched, there cannot be other reasons to doubt as whether Sanjay Roy is the person who has committed the crime or not. CBI had said that as far as destruction of evidence is concerned, which is equally a crime, equal in offence, if they find all the evidences, they would find a supplementary charge sheet, which hasn't happened as yet. But as far as the case of rape and murder is concerned, that act of crime is being committed by Sanjay Roy. Who are these people who are not happy with Sanjay being only accused by CBI? Who are these people who had been asking for more names? Who are these people who are now not happy with CBI investigation? If you recollect all these aspects, you would possibly know who these people can be who would want to misguide me. Recall who are the people who first wanted CBI. Recall who are the people who later on questioned the CBI investigation after CBI named Sanjay Roy. And try and draw a relation. Ask yourself, can there be a relation? Are the same people then who are trying to misguide the family because of their own vested interest? what would be our role? We are not taking our focus away from Arjikar, and we will not allow that to happen. Every question will be asked, and everyone will be asked the question. For now, we are asking this: who are you who is trying? Who are you and why are you trying to misguide the family? Why aren't you happy with CBI investigation? For night, I say thank you to one and all, and take care.